Bill don't recall a damn thing. Clinton is absolutely guilty. Yo, he don't remember nothing. But he went on about 4 or 5 trips to Africa and Asia. And he thanked during his very brief relationship, about 10 years with Epstein, he gave about $7 to $10 million to some organization when he first met him, from what he can remember. And he said that Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State and she was working with human trafficking with little girls and all. And he saw it up in Nigeria. It was very rampant. And that was over there on his organization where they was trying to help children with AIDS and all. And they was trying to stop it from diarrheaing on the other children. That's what he called it. And he took one other trip from New York to Florida. And another one to Northern European. But that's all he remembers. He was so damn nervous, y'all. He kept sipping that damn water like he was shaking salt. And then he sat up there and said that his last flight that he can remember. And him said, listen, this was about over 20 years ago. Him very old, so he doing the best that he can to remember everything. Him said that he learned of Mr. Epstein crimes in 2008. But he don't recall seeing Nathan ever. And then he took another shaky-ass sip of water. Him said that his relationship with Maxwell lasted a little bit longer than Epstein because she had a relationship or some type of dealings with Ted White. But then she moved to Boston and got arrested later on in 2019, and that's pretty much when things ended between him and her. But him said he don't recall nothing of her dealings, even though he had this very long relationship, and it wasn't as brief as his 10-year relationship with Epstein. When it comes to the contact list, he ain't talked to nobody about Nathan dealing with Epstein, not one person. And then he took another shaky sip of water. You know, I'm starting to believe that these people wait until these people older than the earth's crust before they actually bring them to some type of justice. Because then they can claim that they too old, senile, and incompetent to withstand due to their old crunchy ass age. Then Mr. Clinton got real irritated and said, listen, the police ain't never asked me, Nathan, about any type of dealings with Epstein crimes. And he ain't ever been to the damn White House. Never. But then the interviewer said, well, you know, it's been reported that he came about 17 times. Would you like to debate that? No. That's what Bill said. He said no, flat out. And then him take another shaky sip of him water. Even though he sent the memo to Epstein's mother and told her to get well soon. But he don't remember meeting none of Epstein family members. And as a matter of fact, he write all types of get well and all types of cards to all types of people.